so wonderful to meet you, and congratulations, first of all, on the film. You are so good in this movie. And I want to start by asking, this happened in the 70s, real life, which is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I was only about, 9 when this all went down. You were not even born, obviously.
I wasn't even a thought.
So when you got the story, like when you were first approached, tell me a little bit about that, because obviously you didn't know anything. So, tell me about learning about this whole time in history.
Well, the first thing I did was listen to a whole bunch of 70s music, because why not? I really wanted to get the vibe of like the music, That's usually my way into any year. And then I started looking at what was happening, like in depth with what was happening for Black people in that time. Which really, because I realized reading it, because you've seen the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I realized reading it that I thought everyone was going to be Black. I don't know why I assumed everyone would look like me, all just off the jump. But from there, I was like, okay, so this is where we're all coming from. And with this happening, and then the marijuana on top of this, and I started to pile on things on my theater school training, like stakes, looking up articles. And then when I got there, I realized it was a different vibe, but a lot of what I had worked on still was inside of me.
Right.
And I feel like that really helped when I got to see Craig's vision of what the movie actually was. It's like, oh, it's very much this, but it's also something that I didn't expect. So I'm glad I did the research before.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to me because here are a bunch of women who were used as a study case, and they weren't just smoking weed like, okay, once every week or whatever. I mean, this was a few times a day. The study to me sounds freaking ridiculous. I mean,
it's terrifying,
right? Using
terror.
Using these women as pretty much guinea pigs, test cases. And how could you even follow the study legitimately anyway? Because who does that? I mean, unless you're a real stoner, you know what I mean? Like, and that's your life. So to me, there was just no sense of this whole thing. But I guess I want to ask you, in terms of your preparation, I mean, how does one prepare to be a stoner if you're not going to smoke weed?
I mean, that's such a good question. I'm so glad you asked that. Because when I was wondering how I was going to prepare, I'm like, am I just gonna get high? Like, is that what I'm gonna do to prepare? And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little high to prepare. I was just like, all right, well, let's see what it's like.
It's all legal now anyway, right? So you're all good.
Oh my gosh, I'm in Toronto. Nobody can come for me.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because even like smoking one joint's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Yeah.
And so I personally did not try what the ladies did in the study, but I did clock how I move differently and like how it affects my brain when I'm high versus when I'm sober. Mm-hmm. And just the thought of them having to up the dosage, like that is
frightening,
terrifying to me. Yeah.
Because who knows what could happen to their bodies, to their mind, like
their minds.
The whole thing, it just blew me away watching this. And did you meet the real person that you played? Did you get to spend any time with her?
Okay, so our characters they're pretty much composite characters. So they're based off of real women and their experiences, but there isn't a specific woman who is Miranda. Miranda's created out of several different people, but we met two ladies. I met them in passing. It was pretty fast. And then we got a really quick picture, but we had a COVID viewing. So it was like far away, everyone over the computer. But since that it was far away, the ladies also got the link to see the video, like the whole movie. And so one of the ladies actually contacted Craig and was like, I'm reliving this and I just want to thank you for shedding light on it. And she pointed out my character, because I guess I had a part of her story with Miranda, and she was very, very emotional about my performance of it. I was like, wow. And it's a good feeling, but it's also her real life. And I got to take on her life and show it to her, and she felt something went like this for her, something connected for her. And that, yeah, so I didn't get to meet a whole bunch of ladies or anything, but I did have this one woman
that's
who reached
amazing.
out.
Listen, yeah, like I said, your performance was great. And I also, the camaraderie between all the women, all of you, in real life, I can imagine they obviously bonded because of what they were going through. I was wondering what the bond was like when you all got together and started acting together, because it's a really group of great actresses in this.
They're so fun. They're so fun. So we actually, I don't know if it was before or after, but we all went to Morgan's house.
Okay.
Morgan's our beautiful redhead. So we went to Morgan's house, hung out. Her house is so sweet. And we just like had drinks, chilled. It was so nice. It was after the movie, because I remember I got some tokens from Julia, and Kyla and I are still really close. And Brittany's always working, and she's so fun. We send memes to each other. It's cute. Yeah. So I'm really glad.
So I would think that you guys kind of just got into this no problem. Like I said, you're also good in it, but you're experiencing this. I look at somebody like Julia, who I've met before. I've interviewed her, and she's such a teeny little thing. I mean, she's so teeny. And I'm watching her smoking and this and that, and I'm thinking, how does this not affect you guys with like even all the, like, I know that you're not really smoking weed during your shooting, but just the smoke and the inhalation of everything, like, ew.
Ew. It's just like there's so much.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of props, they would come in with a whole bunch of already rolled joints, and there were like 40 a day, just so many joints perfectly rolled. Like the stoner in me is just looking at the artistry of it all.
Yes.
This is this is insane. But yeah, it was, I don't know, meeting them was so fun. It was so nice.
No, it's good. It's good. What are you hoping? Like, we talk about there were some fun things that, but at the end of the day, as we were saying earlier in the interview, what they did to these women it's just awful. And now you look at this like 30 years later, a little more, no more. What am I talking? It's more. Yeah. What am I talking? It was the 70s. But what are you hoping that people get from it, especially now that marijuana is legalized?
Yeah. And people are doing this in their quarantine.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, before Canada. But people are getting high like these women in their quarantine right now, because these women are also quarantined for like 98 days, which is like peanuts. But people are living this true, I'm going to smoke all the time, every day in this quarantine. And I think just being in a movie about being isolated and smoking weed all the time, and then being in my real life, I'm Jamaican, I won't even lie. I dabble with the medicine. So living this life, I realized how much it's not about the weed. Like after a while, it stops being about the smoking, and like, this is just the reality. It's like, now I just live on this heightened place.
Yeah.
So I use that to get really introspective. And I noticed in the movie, the women were using where they were, like Miranda, for example, was using it for her future. So she was using it and she was focusing with all of this for her future. So even with it legalized, it just, I don't understand how it could be criminalized, because it's not the weed that's doing anything to people. Yeah, exactly. It's really just what they're making of this heightened experience that they're having. And in the movie, you can see that you can use this for good, bad, and ugly, but like, you can use that for all of that.
For sure.
But there's a lot of control that you still have, even with all of the weed in your system.
Yeah.
That's something I learned in this moment.
No, I found it amazing, and I was happy to hear too that nobody got really sick or anything like that doing it in real life or in your film, obviously. So that's a positive. I want to know, after this, like, obviously it's COVID time and nobody's really been working, but what do you have anything coming up else after Marijuana Conspiracy that we might see you in?
Oh, that's That's such a nice question. Thank you.
Oh, you're so good
Yes,
at this. I know we're gonna see
I'm
you in a
working
lot of things.
I can't say the title or anything, but I'm working on a kid show. I got my
Oh,
first voice
good.
acting gig. So I've been doing a lot of voice acting since the quarantine,
Yeah.
and everybody's looking out for the Black girls, and it's just, honestly, I'm grateful. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, I
gotta
get
be
it.
honest.
Yeah, you're really, really good in this. Yeah, I thought you did a standout job, and I just want to know how your macrame skills are.
Honestly, girl, they're not bad. I kid you not, they're not bad. I can make these planter holders
Impressive.
now.
Impressive.
Oh, I took the skill. I put it on my resume.
Okay, good, good. You can give us media folks like little gifts for doing these interviews. You could make us.
Oh my gosh, that's actually so. Do you want a planter?
I will take a planter from you. I would be honored.
That's actually such a good idea. Okay, yes. Oh my gosh. I love making things for people.
That's awesome. Listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. I'm going to go talk to Julia next. So it's been real. I'll tell her that you send your best.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tell her I said hi. And I love the book she gave me. Give me a little gaming book. It's great.
I will tell her that. Thank you so much for your time today. You're fantastic in the film. And it was a pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Okay. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Stay safe. Okay. Okay. Bye.
I will.
Bye.